Well, talk about inconsistent weather. We've just had that weekend where it was hitting 104 degrees at its height. Today, it's 70 degrees and it's raining. But apart from being a welcome break for us from that extreme heat, I'm pretty sure the garden's going to appreciate a nice light drizzle, what we're getting right now. And I think we've got a couple more bits and bobs ready to harvest. So I'm going to go and have a look around the garden, see what we can get. Well, it's not exactly an harvest from these. These are those Jack Little miniature pumpkin plants. But it's great to see that they're all coming into flower now. So something's going to start happening with these quite soon. And those new pea plants that we've put in climbed quite a way up this fencing in a really short space of time, and now they're starting to get the flowers. And that sweet corn's grown a lot more as well. But in this greenhouse we've got some cherry tomatoes that we can now harvest. First cherry tomatoes of the year, and you can see they just fall off. It's so good to see that. So we'll take just a couple of those because they will ripen more on a windowsill in the house. But if we take the fruit off that's virtually ready, it'll encourage all the others to start ripening. And I can see on this other plant, this one's quite amusing. There's one on this plant that's ripened, but it's about the size of a pea. But we'll have it. And there's a few more ripening down there. Not quite ready though. And as always, we've got to keep checking these French beans, because since they started producing, they've just not stopped. Every other day we're taking handfuls of beans off these plants. We've got to get right inside the plant or you'll miss them. Those beetroots are growing on nicely again. We harvested some of these quite recently and pickled them, but we've left these to grow on for a little bit bigger beetroot. And we've got some of these spring onions, so I think I'm going to take some of these out. There's quite a few. They're all planted in a clump together. But I use these mainly for the greens, so I like to take them before they start to yellow. So we'll have those. And I could do with a regular onion as well. And this one is a good size. So twist and pull. And we've got a really good onion there. These peppers have really come on now. We only looked at them a few days ago, and they've really come up in size. Obviously due to these high temperatures that we keep getting. But I'm still going to leave these for a bit longer. And in here, the cucumber plants are going mad. I didn't realise there was so many on these plants. That's massive. There's a big one down there. There's two smaller ones just there. And on this plant, there's another really big one. So I'm going to take a couple off. Just twist them until they break. Another really nice cucumber. And a frog. But we don't eat frogs. So hopefully frogs don't eat cucumbers either. Because these are fully ripe, I'm going to have to take two off. the thing fell down when I touched it, because there's another one at the back. I didn't realise there was one hanging here as well. So we're just going to have to take these off because they've reached the size that we want. And now they're weighting this plant down too much. And I'm also going to have to take this one off the bottom as well. If you leave them on the soil for any amount of time, they'll start and turn yellow. And then insects will try eating them. So we've now got 4 cucumbers. But what's another really encouraging thing to see is these big tomato plants that we've got are now starting to try and ripen, which is brilliant news. So it shouldn't be too long before we get some good sized tomatoes ready to harvest. And again, these are the new French bean plants, and we're still getting mini harvests from these. And because the plant's so young, we want to keep taking them off to encourage more growth. Again, good size one right there. Let's get these off. On a downside, these potato plants are slowly getting worse after that battering front wind. So at this stage all we can do is just leave them until they're completely gone over, and then we'll dig all this bed up and see how many potatoes are in there. But in this onion bed, there's a massive onion growing. Huge, and it's nice and firm. It's bigger than a tennis ball. It looks like we're going to be getting some cabbages soon as well. These are all coming along really nice. We'd better check if there's any more strawberries. I think Jenny might have harvested them yesterday, because it takes a fast bird to beat her to a ripe strawberry. Looks like she's already done this part. Well done, you. We've got some more cucumber plants in here, but so far just this tiny one on the bottom, which is good because we don't need any more at the moment. Well, actually no, there's another one just there, but they're only small, so they'll be fair and harvest in a couple of weeks. And as bell peppers are getting some good size, and not quite big enough to harvest yet. I mean, you could do, but I want to get them as big as I can. But it's just good to see that they're growing perfectly fine. And we've got peppers basically on every plant. And peppers aren't cheap to buy, so the more of these we can grow, the better. This outdoor girl tomato plant is starting to get a ripe tomato on it. And this is that tomato plant that I put in a big bell pot. And I've purposely not picked off any suckers, I've just left it. Just to show you how mad they go if you don't maintain them. Now you don't know where it starts or where it ends. But we'll still get fruit off it. It'll just hang down over the edges of this pot, which is not a problem. And then we've got this one in 10 litre pot as well. This needs straightening out a bit. It's getting a bit wobbly, probably due to those winds. We put a load of peppers in this big long planter as well, but the wind has battered them. They will still get new growth like there. It will just set them back a bit, but some of these leaves now are basically no good. But they'll recover. That rain's really brought this on as well. Rain and sun. It's getting really big, so we're going to have to start pinning this to this trellis. And it's got a big flower in it now as well, so I just can't wait to see these miniature pumpkins. I spy another strawberry. I'll take that. Well, that looks like it's it for today. Considering I'm taking harvests every few days, it's really good. There's nothing better than just walking around a garden and collecting yourself a basket of fresh homegrown vegetables that you know are going to continuously replenish themselves all the way through this coming season. So you're never going to be without fresh produce. We're now getting onions this size, and they're really firm, which is perfect, and that's because these tops have gone over. So now that is starting to bulb up and firm up, and we've just took us first harvest of spring onions. They smell amazing, so perfect for the cooking things that I do, and we've got loads more growing in the garden as well. And we keep getting loads of these French beans, which is brilliant because as fast as we pick them, we're freezing them. So we've got a supply all the way through winter. On a daily basis, we get a few strawberries, but again, these get frozen, it all adds up. But after harvesting 2 cucumbers a week, all the other plants have now kicked into life. So now we've got 4. Which is absolutely amazing, getting 4 nice sized cucumbers all at the same time, because 1 can go in salad bowl, the other 3 can be pickled and stored in jars. But the most exciting part of today was these cherry tomatoes. It's the first time we've had any ripe tomatoes off a plant this year. So once you get your first 3 or 4 nice ripe little cherry tomatoes, you know there's a lot more on the way. And we've just seen that the big ones on the big tomato plants are now trying to ripen as well. So it's not going to be too long before we'll be freezing tomatoes to make sauces and soups. Anyway, if you want to see what else we harvest as we carry on through this season, then please just hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and we'll see you next time. You all take care. Thank you for watching.